All right, within this video here, I'm going to share with you how we've made our clients over $100,000 of revenue within the first 30 days of working with us using our system called the infrastructure injection. Now, before I begin, I just want to quickly introduce myself. Hey, my name is Robin Hanuki, and I'm the founder of RH Media. Now, we've been operating since 2018, and just before anyone starts, this is well before every man and their dog has, or at least started their agency. Now, we emerged as leaders in marketing systems for home improvement companies, but also local businesses, which has helped them drive six-figure profits annually. Now, let's take one of our clients as an example, Raymond. He's based in Victoria, absolute legend, has a beautiful family. And when we jumped on initially, I think we had a conversation where he's been burnt a number of times in the past, whereas, all I was looking for was just buy-in, not only to myself, but our team. Thankfully, he did. Within these first 30 days, he was able to not only achieve booking in and closing 5 projects in 1 month, but he was able to not only make over $100,000 in revenue, but also he had to block out his calendar for the next 2-3 months because he was that busy. So again, here are some of our awesome results with our clients. Now, also one of our clients in North New South Wales, his name is Wesley, but it's been called West. Now, he has a deck and pergola company. Now, again, very similar. He was based on the Northern Beaches initially, but, and again, burnt a number of times. However, I just asked him to believe in not only myself, but our team and our system. And because of that, thankfully he did, because he not only just booked shy of $100,000 in 1 month, but he's consistently taking market share anywhere between Tweed Heads and as well the Gold Coast. So he's making that his own. Now, our philosophy, just to put it out there, yes, it's all good to get, the quick wins and the injection of revenue into the business within the 30 days. But rather than going into a hamster wheel and continuously doing that, we actually build out systems and we focus on the sustainability and long-term growth of the business. Now, it's all good and well to have, again, as I said, those quick wins, but how do we make it long-term, sustainable, and to complete market dominance? That's exactly what we do. So I'm going to explain as to why, the old business model doesn't work. Now, I can also speak into how, I saw this firsthand with my, old man. He had a carpentry business growing up, and everything that I will speak about as to what's wrong with the industry and why it doesn't work is exactly what he was doing. So as an example, he was very, very bullish. Well, his only strategy was working on referrals. But as we understand, referrals is unpredictable. But it's all good and well to have, yourself referred maybe within, let's just say, 3 months of the year. But what about the remaining 9 months? And that's exactly where we found ourselves. I remember, going to school, getting ready to go to school. And if he's not at home and if he's outside, obviously working and doing what he loves, then, it's going to be a phenomenal day. But if you catch him sitting in front of the TV, watching horse racing at 6 o'clock in the morning, something's up and you just don't want to be there. So yeah, it was a really, I laugh at it now, but it was really, really, I guess, heartbreaking and sad to see, because again, he only focused on the one vertical on getting work, and that was referrals. We understand that that's unpredictable. Now, when we look at that, or at least bring it back to today's age, not only are you having to deal with referrals, word of mouth, as one of the strategies, but there is, as I said, every man and their dog has an agency out there, and there's a lot of people who are bidding for your work. Now, they have offers which showcase, hey, we'll get you all these phenomenal leads, but really what is happening behind the scenes, and the reason being is because we've seen it ourselves, is that people are buying leads from other companies. So they're either lead scraping it, which, by the way, it may sound all good and well, but if that lead has been called up 3 or 4 times by other competitors of yours, and you've literally just purchased it from that agency, you can imagine the response that you'll get when you're in front of them. So again, key thing here is, whilst it's all good and well to engage with an agency, you need to find out exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it. So again, referrals, unpredictable. Purchasing leads and finding yourself in a bidding war between other companies and other agencies as well doesn't work. Now, as you can see here, there's a heap of competition just trying to get that attention from that one lead. And as you can understand, there is price pressure. Now, the core fundamentals or core issues, to this is that relying on third parties like an agency limits growth and potential immediately. Also, success requires in-house marketing for control and greater profitability. Let me repeat that. Success, or if you look at your competition out there who are really doing well, who are building moats around their business and really taking the market share, they've really actually honed in and they more or less have an in-house marketing team controlling how things go out and how things are executed. Which, by the way, if you have that in-house, you become a greater not only asset to sell down the track if you want to do that, but you have more profitability because it's all in-house. Now, when you work with agencies, you pay twice when factoring number one, ad spend, and number two, only earning once the agency can get you the return. And hey, if you're watching this video and you've actually engaged with one and you haven't had that return, then you understand that you would lose out. Now, meanwhile, the agency earns threefold. Number one, cash collected. So, hey, you're going to pay for our services, so we're going to ask for that up front. Number two, the agency actually gets insights from the advertising platform based on your spend. So as an example, you're funding that agency to learn more about how things work online. Therefore, the agency and as well the platform benefit. And you'll see in a minute as to who loses out. And lastly, once again, they win simply by applying these insights into their operations. So not only do they get feedback from the market and apply it to themselves, but they then go on and sell it. Now, at the same time, advertising platforms increase their value by collecting data generated by your ads, which you've paid for, to help improve their services, and feedback insights into the agency, which again, not only helps them generate better results, but also they benefit from it. Now, notice the advertising platform and as well notice the agency benefiting completely. The only thing that's out of the loop here is yourself. Now, if we have a look at this, I guess, a very simple diagram, agency platform, Facebook, Instagram, Google, they share data and insights. You, on the other hand, you're funding it. You're giving money to the agency to do the work. You're also giving money to the platform to ascertain insights. And hey, if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to get results. Now, as you can see, the agency company value goes up and as well the platform. That goes up as well. Now, the goal here is to get yourself back into the loop. Now, it's easier than ever before to simply implement the systems of agencies into your business, which creates an online marketing department in-house. So remember what I said, the better marketing value is having complete control, complete profitability in-house. Now, let's have a look here. This is quite interesting. I'm going to pause for a second, but if you need proof, look at who's been targeted online with messaging about starting an agency. I'm sure you would have seen some of these influencers all throughout your social media. See, that's right. Beginners. All an agency really is an outsourced marketing department. Now, if it was so easy for new entrepreneurs to create what is essentially an outsourced marketing department, then it can only mean established businesses can create their own, but with more effective, just an effectiveness, simply because it's all in-house. There is no many steps, but it's literally between you and the marketing team. Now, let's have a look at the new process here. Now, I'm going to dive into the first model and speak more about how we've not only transformed home improvement companies using this model, but also how you, whatever business you decide to apply this to, has the same fundamental steps and building blocks in order to do it. So the way that we transformed home improvement companies was we consolidated their marketing, bringing it back in-house, allowing them to have complete control. Secondly, they were able to scale their growth and enhance their business intrinsic value. So what I mean by that is that because it's in-house, if they were to go and put their business on the market to sell it at an X evaluation, they will get higher yields and higher returns simply because they have complete control. If, however, you were dependent on both the advertising and the marketing of the business of a third party or of an agency, that brings that down significantly, because if you were to remove them out of it, there goes your entire sales process, there goes your entire advertising strategy, therefore bringing the business value down. So again, the key thing here is to bring it back in-house and also control and have that more profitability as well. And lastly, it's designed for gradual implementation and immediate results. So as I said beforehand, whilst we are focusing on the long-term growth and sustainability of the business, we're also implementing strategies and systems that yield that quick result, that yields the revenue to then re-inject that back into the business, to reinvest, and then continue building upon the market's trust, credibility, and as well building that moat around you. Now, if you're a contractor or a business wanting to scale your business to the multi-seven-figure revenue and eventually step back from the day-to-day exit, you need to behave like an 8-figure business. Though there will always be processes you need to outsource, strategy, conversations and consultations, your system of client acquisition should not be one of them. If growth, adaptability, and profitability are your goals? Now let's have a look at the potential transformation when you do apply this. Now, number one, you'll achieve monumental returns with the right guidance, with what actually works in the market today. Not strategies that were sent out 12, 18 months ago. We're talking about strategies that are actually working today, that are relevant. We all understand that the online market or the online space is forever evolving. So we need to ensure that we're applying the right guidance along with the right strategies to get in front of the right people. And lastly, this is all implemented within 6 months or less. Usually we get that within the first 3 months, but 6 months for more of our larger clients to really implement a lot of these systems that help not only save them time, but also allow them to make a lot more money, which for whatever they want to do with it, whether it be spending time with their family or maybe further building out other ventures that they have, which a number of our clients have. Whilst it's all good and well to have their business running quite well, they also invest that into other streams or other ventures or passions that they have. Now, just remember, if you're thinking that this is a bit too much to handle, don't sweat it. Our system is built so you can start small and see results right away, and then keep building from there. So we base it on what is possible. So as an example, if you're only a one-man band with a couple of subbies on hand, then we only build it up to what you're capable of doing. But then we push you. We go, hey, look at this system now. It's implementing X amount of results. You need to go out and find more resources. Bring on more people. Actually bring your subcontractor roles in-house. So there's a lot of conversations that we have once we've been able to build that pipeline. Now, we've clarified that the minimum necessary components into the 9 pillars, which if implemented in the exact order, can actually bring the transformation which is impossible not to achieve, as I said, $100,000 in profit within 6 months. Not revenue, profit. And with that, I'm going to show you how to do that now. So have a look here. This is phase number 1 or pillar number 1, and that's being specific on what you offer. Now we identify and capitalize on the key services that your home improvement company really operates on or focuses in on, or I guess what is done really, really well. Now in this pillar here, whilst having to not read everything word for word, that's something you can do after this call here. After this video, you'll have access to this, not only this file, but also the resources, some of the links as well that we'll provide. It's just all there ready for you. But what we're doing here is we're taking the business and actually analyzing. Yes, you do kitchen renovations. Yes, you do bathroom renovations. Yes, you do. Could be even a completely different industry or niche. What I'm asking for is what is it that you do best at, and identifying that. Now, if you're able to identify that from evaluating the profitability and as well the demand, you'll be able to really build a business around, I guess, said service or said product. Now, what you do is you actually conduct a financial analysis. Now, you go through your records and identify, what service generated the most return and had the highest profit margins. Now, if you can actually measure in as well time spent on it, you'll also be able to find out perhaps, let's just say a home renovation company. They do all sorts, but they actually found that it wasn't bathroom renovations, which they initially thought was the most profitable with less time. Maybe it was decking and pergolas. They were able to execute and build that out. Simply focus on carpentry, very less probably supply overheads, and getting it done within maybe a 2 to 3 week window. Imagine how many more people you can bring on board, along with how much more profit you can make, because more volume, less headache, less supply demand in terms of materials, and just getting shit done. Like seriously, that is literally what you've been able to do. Now, whilst we also identify our history and what we've been able to do, we also look at what the market's looking for. So we look for trends and we try to understand what services are in high demand in that area that you service. So again, let's go back to Wes in North New South Wales. Now, again, decking pergola is his bread and butter, but he's actually just refined it back, removed decking out of it, realized that pergolas are the ones where he makes the most margin in the less time, and he's gone to town on that. So again, that's why he's been able to really become the market leader in his area on simply doing the review. And obviously customer feedback. Who have you got the most reviews from, raving reviews? And, what are they saying about the product or the service that you've been able to provide? Now, if you're able to use those 3, indicators, you can really, make something of it in terms of identifying what services that you offer. All right, perfect. Now, identifying the strengths and speciality. Now, again, speaking to a business owner, most often than not, you already know this. You already know what your team's best at. You already know the skills that they acquire. and just the unique aspect of what you can do in comparison to what the competition out there does. So if you're able to identify that, you can really build upon what services that you can offer that you'll be the best at, and you'll be able to stand out from everyone else. Now let's have a quick look at enhancing service delivery. Now, training and development, something that I'm sure that you all are aware of, but again, consistently investing in your team to ensure they meet the standards that you have. Now, I've not met a business owner who hasn't had high standards, who really takes pride in what they do, their work. So if you can get your team to buy into the culture that you build around it, the level of standards that you hold, you'll be doing very, very well. Now, it's not only that, but also staying up to date with the latest tools, techniques, and materials in your niche is also key. Stuff that we may not necessarily want to do, but it's very important to ensure the longevity of the business and as well the growth and sustainability of staying industry leading, authority generating, and just more having that trust from the community to know that, hey, we are the best at what we do, and that's the reason why not only you come to us first, but number two, it's why we charge the premium prices as well. That is the goal of being able to identify what's that number one skill within the business that you can fully go down the path on. And last but not least, quality control. Obviously having quality measures that you put in place, keeping the high standards. I think that's usually a non-negotiable, and a lot of business owners out there really hold themselves to. Now, the longer that they are in business, usually you'll find that, whether it be conscious or subconscious, a lot of these businesses' longevity and reputation is off the back of the quality of work. And again, I think I'm preaching to the choir. Even if you are outside of the home renovation space, I think that I'm sure you can agree on that. Now, if we have a look at the feedback as well, again, just focusing back on the customer response, the good, the bad, the critical, you can always improve and quality control, you can always make that a lot better. Now, whilst we also focus in on what we're good at, we also have a look at the peripherals around, that specific service. So again, let's have a look at pergolas as an example. How can we further expand into other services that complement what we do? And again, using that pergolas, or even just bathroom renovations, what ties onto it? You've got the laundry and you've also got the decking that maybe perhaps off the back of that bathroom feeds out into. Now, again, that's all bespoke to whatever projects that we work on. But again, I'm sure that you guys are understanding on, whilst it's all good and well to have that one service that you focus in on and the best at, have a look around it to see what else is out there that you can not only connect to, but also broaden as you continue building. Now, again, measuring success is just generally what we do. Customer feedback, also dollar figures as well, revenue, and just seeing how the market's responding to our work. Now, to complete that, we focus on the key services, again, on home improvement industry, strategic to what you're good at and what you're best at. Because if you can have that market position that, hey, company ABC is the best at it within this area, region, city, then you start to become that expert that people rely on. Now, once you've got the credibility, once you've got the trust, and once you've got the results to showcase, marketing becomes a lot easier, advertising becomes a lot more cheaper, and thirdly, you're able to leverage, again, what is one of the biggest, forms of lead generation that has very little work to do, and it's something that my old man actually relied on, but had the wrong systems in place to support it. Word of mouth and referrals. When you have a system in place that really allows you to step up and showcase what you're really good at, the referrals, the word of mouth becomes so much easier. So again, when you have the right systems in place for timeless lead generation strategies, it makes life so much easier. So again, that is pillar number one, focusing on what you're good at, identifying what that strength is, doubling down on it, whilst also keeping abreast on what is actually happening around you as well. So that there is pillar number one. And again, that is strategic focus. What are you best at?